How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck out of here. This is Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 8, which its title was, what the fuck was it? The Blessing of Many Fractures. The fuck does that mean? Even in real life, what does that mean for a move? You know, all these are based off of actual martial arts moves. What the fuck is a blessing of many fractures? I assume it is a, like maybe two people punching fist to fist is a blessing of, I don't know what the blessing is, but, you know, of many fractures. I think the hand is probably the place where you would get the most fractures. So I feel like that's the only thing I'm going off of. Iron Fist, maybe he punches with the Iron Fist somebody else's hand and it shatters their hand. We basically had stuff like that already, but, whatever. Maybe that's what it's going to be. Let's jump into it. If you want to see the full length, check it out on the Patreon below for $4 a month. Okay, we are discussing Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 8, The Blessing of Many Fractures. This one felt like the most middle of the season kind of episode.
Yeah, it's a real, we have things we need to do, so let's just get to the point where we can do those things.
Yeah, like, last episode is we're going to Anzo, and this episode was like we kind of just want that all to be one episode, and I imagine next episode is going to either be them on the plane or already back in America with Gal.
Yeah.
So, it really seems like they just wanted to do all of Anzo in one single episode. So, and then in that we have the Ward and Joy stuff, which was the primary, just time of this episode, was Ward and Joy. Surprisingly. I wasn't expecting to get that much with them, but...
Yeah, like right here especially.
Yeah. But I think I'm not sure, again, what they're trying to do with Joy. I'm so confused with what the show is trying to do with Joy. I like her a lot, but I don't know. I hope they're not trying to think that I'm supposed to like Joy.
Right.
There's a lot of times where I'm worried that they think that I'm supposed to like Joy, rather than Ward and Joy both being horrible, awful pieces of shit in the exact opposite ways.
Right.
But that's kind of what this episode felt like to me, of the... I am always worried, are they trying to make me feel like Joy? But then when we do the thing of Ward going behind Joy's back, and then Joy going behind Ward's back, and it is all... but even then, still, Ward being the worst person, he was going behind her back to get... his money, a separate us, so that way I can be out, and then she can still say yes or no, which is not really like a going against her sort of thing.
And, I do think Ward is the protagonist of, his Thoroughline in these episodes. Yeah. He is the one where we see the stuff that makes us, feel for him. Even if you don't, like him as a person. He is the protagonist of that part.
Whereas the first 3 episodes were following Joy's perspective.
Yeah, that felt a lot more like is she going to be, the good guy inside of Rand's?
Yeah. But a lot of time, we still have so much of the scenes where she is, trying to break through to Ward on, brother level and, all that sort of stuff. And that's the kind of thing where it's I feel like they're trying to humanize Joy too much. But at the end of the day, I also... my worry is that Danny is totally fine with her. Danny has never really cared about, or said anything mean to her, or you are a bad person or anything. And, he needs to put his foot down on that sort of stuff, because he disagrees with her and will go completely against her in a lot of stuff. But with Ward, he'll be like, Ward, you are a bad person for doing this. And with Joy, he's just like Joy, do you not see, what's wrong about this? Okay, whatever, I'll just talk about it then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother you trying to be moral. So, yeah, I'm interested about that sort of thing. But I get where Joy is coming from with the not knowing what's happening to Ward and everything like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be going more into the manipulative side of, she is, been through Harold, as they brought up in this episode. This is all Harold's idea, and we've known about this sort of stuff, but... I think that's also why it makes it hard to talk about this episode, because most of this episode is stuff we already know. It's just the characters are talking about it now.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch, but it's not. There's not that much extra stuff for us to talk about.
Yeah, for us as a discussion, it's basically this whole episode was a discussion of the past couple episodes of the season. So it's weird for us to then come in on top of that and be like, "Yep, what they said, it's all true." But yeah, where So, I mean, let's just talk about the things that were said and then just
Sure.
say, yes, we agree with them.
Uh-huh.
Like, Ward being so headstrong at the beginning of this season, doing
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like, even Joy was like, maybe this is Danny, and, maybe we
Right.
shouldn't be doing all this. If he's our friend, why are we being mean to him? It's fine to be mean to a random person, but...
Of course.
But yeah, now he's like the cowardly one trying to get out of it and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Joy is also the other side of the cowardliness, as Danny says, like Danny doing all this for the company, for the plants and all that, and meanwhile she is like, what can I do? And it's like, well, we've seen what you can do. You can blackmail people. You can get a kidney for somebody's like kid that's died. Like she has gone to extreme lengths to do stuff, and then she goes, what am I supposed to do? That? Like, yeah, that! How about that?
Yeah, it's a real... If she wanted the Rand plants taken down in Staten Island, it would already be gone.
Yeah. Like, it is so clear that she is capable of that, but she will only do what will put more money in her pocket.
Yeah.
And, so I hope we go harder with that. Like I've been saying, I hope we are just holding off it until the last couple episodes of this season.
Yeah.
Because we still got 5 episodes left, which is quite a bit, still.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to go. How low do you think Ward's going to go in terms of trying to get a payout? Because over the course of this episode, he falls from, like, 100 million was, what they offered to Danny. It was the initial offer for each of them.
Yeah.
And now he's down to, like, what? Like, a couple million? Like, he kept on going, like, I can go lower if you want me to.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he's going to take the payout. I think where we're going is Joy is going to successfully blackmail the company. / Danny is going to like get back now because Danny has been away from all of this.
Right.
Danny doesn't know anything about what's going on. That's going to be really the key factor. Danny coming back in, but Danny has to be out of the company for at least one episode, assuming the next episode, so he can use his dad's key card for something.
Yeah.
That MacGuffin's still around. So.
Yeah. Like, the legal stuff in the series tends to not be very fast. So I think we have an easy episode of Joy, like, getting Danny on board. Danny saying, oh, it's my company, it's my name, I'm on board with you guys now, let's take it back.
Oh, I could definitely see a, like, fine, I will also help get us back on board, but we are, like... You guys are my employees now, and you have to do what I say. No more like, oh, Danny, you don't understand business. I understand business. I will get us back on board, and then you guys have to do what I say.
Because I could definitely see the uniting factor of all three of them being Danny wants, he wants his company, and he wants actual control to the point where people, will respect him and they can't kick him off again. Joy wants the cushy money and all that. I think Ward will, is still going to try and get a payout and leave, but he'll agree to work with the two of them to get back in, so then he can like negotiate a payout and leave.
Maybe.
Like, I do think genuinely...
I think he's got to go lower than that.
Okay.
I think he's got to like literally steal physical cash from the company or something now. Like, he just keeps going lower, lower. I feel like at this point that's what it's got to be. He's got to like rob somebody, something like that.
Like, he has to do something in the season that is more desperate than going to the walk-in and like begging for pills.
Yeah. What is interesting is it doesn't seem like he's done the heroin, or that has not really been a motivating factor in any of this.
Right.
It has solely been the pills. So I wonder what's going on there, because he definitely took them. The heroin, he had to have. That was not too many back pills.
Oh, absolutely not. Plus, like, we haven't seen it again, whereas I think, like, especially when he was, like losing his mind and he found some pills in the back, if at that point he still had the heroin on him, he would have pulled it out and, like, at least thought about it again.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so...
He definitely took it.
He had to. I just wonder what we're doing with that, because nothing has come up with that so far. But we also, additionally, again, haven't brought it up in a few episodes, the bird. What's up with the bird? What's up with the bird?
Could be a dropped element, but I don't think so. It's so deliberate.
And back to back in 2 episodes, and in the first 2 episodes, it's something. Speaking of the first 2 episodes, I just like suddenly remembered in the middle of the night one night, I just like woke up in the sweat and I was like, what the fuck was with that scene in episode 2? Like, just Danny being so out of character in episode 2 when he's in the mental facility and they make him just insult that guy out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then like just now that we are 8 episodes into it, I was just thinking about Claire this episode and stuff, like as I was going to sleep, and then just suddenly had a fear of like, what the fuck was that? Like, just watching Wolverine, the Origins movie or whatever, felt like a very similar thing where, man, like, just Hollywood / whatever, you know, all this, you know, media company shit. It's the classic scene of, like, how do we get people to like this character? We're introducing our main character. It's episode 2, or, like, you know, it's another movie now. How are we going to get people to really reattach themselves to this character? Let's make them insult just some random person. Let's just make them be a huge asshole, because that's what everybody loves. And then we're just going to immediately drop that from their character going forward.
Yeah. It's real weird.
It's so weird. It's just like, yeah, that all came up because I was just thinking about Claire and how much I fucking hate Claire now.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, how easily they were able to ruin her character in one episode just by, like, it was one thing if she said, like, you know, oh, you think you can justify murder, and I'd be like, fuck you, Claire, shut the fuck up, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But the fact that throughout the entire episode she just keeps repeating it over and over and over again, every time Colleen shuts her down and explains, like, why that is a just completely asinine mentality, like, as she says, I mean, it's the classic thing. It really shouldn't need to be said. Everybody pretty much understands that if you don't kill one person that is killing people, you're basically letting them continue to kill people.
Right.
That's just how it works. That is morality. That is the whole power and responsibility sort of thing.
Yeah.
As they brought up too, both sides of the thing of, like, this is a murder we're talking about, and also, like, you're not the Iron Fist. You can't say, like, she's like, well, I'm not special. Yeah, that's the entire conversation we've been having.
Yeah.
Of Danny is special. That's why he's doing this. And then she goes, I'm not special. So I don't know why she came to China. Why did she come here? What was the point? Because, like, she gave a whole speech of, like, I have, you know, so much personal stuff here. You don't think I want to take down the hand? Of course I want to take down the hand. And then constantly past couple episodes just been talking about, I want to take down the hand, take down the hand, take down the hand. What does she mean by take down the hand? Because clearly what she thinks is Danny is going to beat up Gal and no more hand.
No more hand.
No more hand because Gal got punched.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's such an unbelievably, like, privileged mindset for her to have, even though she shouldn't have that mindset because of everything that she's been through.
Yeah, like, they're fighting at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah. It's, oh, man. And the fact that, like, Claire then being there in the fight at the end, just picking up weapons and being like, well, I'm gonna use it anyway. Like, as she constantly does, she'll get in these situations and then she'll, like, defend herself and kill people. But, you know, God forbid she do any... Didn't she stab a ninja in Daredevil?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, how is that self-defense, but this is not also self-defense? Like, Gao is trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Still. Like, she has said, like, oh, I won't. So we're just supposed to take the word of a murderer? Like, oh, she's not gonna kill him, so it's okay. She said she wasn't.
Let's go back home.
Let's go back home. Oh. So stupid. But this episode elevated Colleen a hell of a lot for me.
Yeah.
That Colleen was willing to say all that shit to her. Yeah, I just appreciate it. And the whole conversation between Danny and Colleen, where they both were just like, man, it really sucks that we are both in, like, the kind of, like, we both had the past that we've had, but it is, at the same time, extremely nice to be able to have somebody that we can relate to this, you know, with. It's nice that I didn't have to, like, imagine Danny having to take this plane trip here and Colleen's not here, and it's just Claire the entire time just going, Danny, you shouldn't kill people. Oh, Danny, you're experiencing some post-traumatic stress from when the plane crashed and your parents were killed. How about you explain to me exactly what that was like and relive that event right now as it's re-happening? You're a doctor, Claire! What the fuck? That is...
I can definitely say, like, when someone's going through an episode, you usually don't say, okay, what about your last episode?
Yeah, take me through that step by step again. How did it feel when your mother died, Danny? Explain to me that right now in your most stressed moment. Can you please explain that to me? Like, they're never gonna outright say it, but I mean, Danny is clearly supposed to be autistic / he experiences the same sort of neurodivergent stuff as a lot of autistic people because of like the isolated life that he has led and everything. And that is like a nightmare scenario as an autistic person to be in. I can't. Yeah.
God.
Just I think Claire is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Such a piece of shit.
I don't know if that's intentional or if they're just bad at writing.
It feels like they had to do the obligatory, we have to have a character say it's bad to kill, or else the audience is gonna go like, I can't believe these writers just want to kill people. Or something. Like, I don't know what they're afraid of, but it's the thing that, you know, is constantly, whatever. It's in everything. But, yeah, it's just, So the whole scene with Danny and Ward, where Ward is like acting with
oh, what happened here? Oh my God, my dad!
But it was really good though. He sold it incredibly well.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah, like Ward, for as easily manipulating. Or, what am I trying to say? How easy it is to manipulate Ward. He is also so good at acting and like learning that through his father.
Yeah,
I keep burping. I'm sorry.
Like it is it's hard to lie to a liar. He was always outclassed by his dad, but next to someone like Danny, especially like Danny is very trusting.
Yeah, but I think it should also be noted he cannot lie to Joy. He's terrible at it. He cannot. But he can lie to Danny, easy peasy peasy. He can lie to pretty much anybody, easy peasy peasy. Just cannot lie to Joy. Cannot lie to Harold.
Yeah.
Which I think says a lot about Joy's lies and her manipulation as well. Like she is on par with Harold. Again, we have always known that, but this episode is just talking about that now.
Yeah.
And like the Ward going from like his father being like, help me clean up these bodies. He's like, absolutely not. All right, at least go throw away these bodies. Okay, fine. And now in this episode, he's like, all right, I had time to clean these bodies in this, or not clean them. Assuming he did that to Harold,
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. It's not like he removed Harold's teeth or anything like that, like or made him unrecognizable. So like he actually didn't do that, like didn't do the clean your kill sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he did come back to do I have to scrub up this place and do all this sort of shit. And like we didn't really talk about it last episode, but they were definitely doing a thing that I didn't really think about at the beginning of the episode, him looking at the dead bodies and the finger and almost throwing up, and at the end killing his dad and then putting the body away and having no look of sickness in him at all.
Right. It's a full Harkonnen episode.
Oh yeah. And then we just have like Ward's hallucinations now, which it's like, is that solely the shit that he's been through, or is that like withdrawal from not having heroin?
I could see that because like if you,
or I mean, it could be both as well.
Yeah,
but that's why I said like, is it only that or?
Yeah, because they describe the heroin as being like the most powerful heroin.
Yeah,
and like if you are like addicted to any opiate, other opiates can like dull that. But it is possible that like.
But this is like the first time every time.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter.
Well, no, it would, because if he's going through withdrawals, other opiates would still help.
Oh, with the withdrawals. I thought you were saying with the feeling of the drugs.
Right.
But no, the withdrawal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could see it being like he already had a pill problem, but now like as he is running out of pills, like the pangs are like way stronger than they've ever been because of that heroin.
Also, haven't thought about this. When's the last time he slept?
Oh, right.
It's been a couple days, I think. Like the last time he slept might have been when he did the heroin.
Honestly, yeah.
Because he has like the huge dark circles under his eyes always now, and like we have not seen, like it's just been nonstop. Doing something in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. and then being at work in the morning again, and then
you're right.
So I can definitely see that. And yeah, it is interesting that he's like worrying so much now about like the blood, specifically like the blood coming down the elevator, the blood on his jacket and everything like that, because like it all did start with him having the blood on his cuff in the meeting at the beginning, like seeing the dead body and like seeing that the head of that guy is when this all started. It's not like this started because he killed Harold or anything like that, or even like to be fair, that was post heroin. I believe.
The head?
No,
No, the head was pre-heroin.
Yeah. But no, because the previous episode, Danny had put it on his desk, and then Ward said, "I don't care," and then then that episode was the whole he took it, and then he was on the couch with Joy and everything like that. Then the next episode was him going and saying I can't go to this meeting. I have to go look at all these places. It's just like, okay, well, just come with me. Then.
You're right. Okay.
So yeah, that was after that. So this could all just be the heroin stuff, like heroin withdrawal. But I mean, it is that coupled with the dead body stuff and the him being thrown into this world now.
Yeah.
Like it's both of that together. Do you have anything to say about Claire and Luke? The letters and everything.
Not really.
I haven't thought about how are we going to get Luke for the Defenders. I didn't really think about that. Like, we gotta break him out.
Yeah.
So,
like, either that or he might be let out, like, on bail or something.
Yeah. Like, he's in there for murder, right? Or like, yeah, right?
Yeah, but they haven't, like, he hasn't gone to trial yet. So.
That's a good point.
So,
but he's in, this was inmate, not like, he just sent a letter, like, it's inmate, so that must mean he's in prison.
Okay, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, we didn't do the trial or anything like that. Like, it didn't really strike me until this episode where I was like, I guess Luke is in prison. Like, I thought we were going to do something with that, but, like, yeah, I didn't think he was going to actually be going back to prison. I thought there was going to be, especially with the way people talk about him, like he's still around. You know? People talk about him like he's still in Harlem doing shit. So I kind of assumed there was going to be a, I wasn't really thinking about the fact that there wasn't anything before Defenders, because I was assuming that there was going to be like, in some other season, like in Jessica Jones or in Luke Cage or whatever, or even in Daredevil, we'll do a trial sort of thing.
Sure.
But I was not thinking about the fact that there was nothing yet before Defenders. So, yeah, that is interesting. I wonder what the hell we're going to do there.
Yeah. Like, they could totally break him out, but I feel like with how legal these series are, I feel like he's probably going to be out on parole or something.
Yeah.
Because that would also add a layer of, like, he can't be seen, or else, he might have to go back. Or it'll make his case worse.
Yeah. I would want it to not be a, like, he gets released legally sort of thing, because, like, all of Luke Cage was about the, being arrested, like, on false terms, or just, for bullshit reasons, and for all this kind of stuff, and, like, for it to just be I got arrested for bullshit reasons, and then I just had to be in jail for that time, and then now I'm out, is a very bad message.
Sure.
Like, it's not a bad message. It's it's not like a message. It's just a thing that happened or would have happened. But it's a, you want something more hopeful for a series like that. It's not very heroic for your hero to just be like, I guess I'm just going to deal with the legal system being shitty.
I mean, even then, he wouldn't be in there for, like, the time he was supposed to be in there, because they had all the papers saying that he was set up.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's been in there for a while already. Like, I guess it wouldn't be, for as long as, it's still just weird. It's too long already.
Okay.
Like, how long has it been since the end of Luke Cage?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's I would assume been a couple months at least, that he's been in there. But it's hard to tell, honestly.
Yeah, the seasons are pretty consistent in the Netflix series.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's hard to,
So, yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to say about Claire and Luke, though?
Like, I still like Jessica and Luke a lot more, so...
Yeah, but it seems like they're doing Claire and Luke. I think this is, like, confirmation, like, we're probably gonna do that.
I'm not totally sure. I'm holding out hope.
I'm holding out hope, but I feel like it's going to be a, Luke and Claire.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I wish I had the confidence you had. Anything else you really want to talk about as far as the Joy and Ward stuff? There's the end of the episode stuff we have more to talk about, but as far as the Joy and Ward situation and everything going on with the company, is there anything more to say about that?
Not really.
Okay.
We covered it.
So, Colleen gets a fight, Danny gets a fight.
Yeah.
Colleen's was cool, but I hope she gets something else as well. Like, that was very just like a one-on-one kind of fight. I want to see Colleen and Danny get into a fight together. More than I want to see Colleen get another fight. I just want to see Danny and Colleen fight somebody together.
Yeah, I think this fight was necessary because her whole thing has been swordsmanship.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is the only time we're going to get a proper sword versus sword fight with no, like, complicating factors or anything.
I hope we get another one, because this one was not that interesting. Like, I hope we get another katana user versus her, because she's also very much so in, like, this is the proper way that you use a katana. And so I hope we get that, you know. Because this person was completely separate in a, you know, like, they seemed like she wasn't, you know, she didn't mention anything like, you know, oh, I can't believe the way they're using this sword or whatever. Right. It seems like they were respecting the martial art.
Sure.
So, I want her to go up against someone who is not respecting the art they're using.
Okay.
So we did get the confirmation that the symbol on the heroine is just Madame Gao giving a finger to the Iron Fists, you know, just saying, like, fuck you, I'll just put it on my package and say, like, you ain't got no fists. You know? You can't do shit. So yeah, that is what it was.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Again, a lot of stuff that we assumed or had guessed, but I'm glad we're getting just an episode for clarification on a lot of this stuff. I'm, you know, it's not much to talk about in discussion, but I appreciate getting it as a viewer. So, Zhou.
Zhou Cheng.
Yeah, Zhou Cheng. We got the fight with him, which was more interesting than the sword fight, in all honesty. Like, the sword fight was a bit, like, rigid and very choreographed, whereas this felt, honestly, a little bit more improv-y in how he was fighting. Like, it was a lot of, like, I'm just going to do stuff to you and you just, you know, block it, or like Zhou said that to Danny's actor, I assume, of, like, you know, I'm just going to do shit, you just block it and react to it. Because that's kind of how a lot of the fight felt like.
Yeah.
Danny didn't have his normal stuff where he... Danny's way of fighting is a lot of, like, clearly the person is coming into him and he, like, lets them come into his fist.
Yeah.
Like, Danny is, of all the actors we have in the show, the least person who's doing choreography well. Like, Colleen's pretty damn good at it.
Yeah.
Colleen's choreography, not a problem with. It's Danny has to be slower with his a lot.
Yeah.
Which is his style with the Iron Fist, but it's just, you know, looking at it is funny. Like, I always think of the fight with Danny and the two Russian chefs things where they're just, like, tapping him with the knife. Like, he's just, like, standing there as they, like, do this with the knife. It's like, what is this? But yeah, the fight with Zhou Cheng I wasn't worried for Danny.
Right.
Like, Danny kept being like, he would hit him and Danny would be like, oh, ow, all of my bones. And I'm like, he looked like he just tapped you a little bit. Like, it really didn't. None of his hits felt impactful, but it was fun to watch.
Right.
And so, yeah, like, and Danny using his own thing against him and stuff. Like, yeah.
Really? Like, I won't say anything, like, I won't say too much in case he does come back, but really interesting adaptation of this character.
Okay.
Like, and I do think, like, even in this episode, like, he tries to place himself as being, like, the reverse Iron Fist. Like, he is the sworn defender of the hand. He has, you know, he also is, like, you know, has a pact with a dragon in a way, but his dragon is inside of him and he needs to keep it sedated. Like, he said a lot of that stuff, but he fundamentally feels like he's just a drunk guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he's got really cool moves. Like, I really like his drunken boxing. It's just, like...
He doesn't truly feel like what he's saying is true.
Yeah, it is an underwhelming sort of boss fight.
Yeah. I do think that we're probably going to actually see him again because he has a big scar across his left side of his face, and then Danny really fucks up the right side of his face.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's going to be a thing. Like, Danny barely touches the left side of his face where he has the scar. So
yeah, and I can also see it being a, like, you know, at this time I was kind of slumming it by the door, but now I'm actually serious. Like, now I'm going to properly try and kill the Iron Fist.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I could definitely see it. But yeah, Danny's whole thing where he, like, you know, gets too aggressive and almost kills somebody that he should be killing and then gets sad about it is... I'm done with it. I don't I hate it. I hate it. To get it out of the show. It's stupid. But yeah, I'm glad they accidentally killed some hand. Good. Finally let some of these people die. Now, Madame Gao, at the end of the episode, what the hell is going on here? Like, why does she just let all this happen? Is this just bad writing, or does Madame Gao have a plan? Because she looks scared, but she just lets Danny take her. When we know that she can do blasts and shit, and it's like, this whole episode was going like, how is Danny gonna fight Madame Gao? And the answer was just, He's not. She's just gonna let him take her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very confusing.
Yeah, I really don't know what her end goal is.
I am going to be unbelievably furious if we do not get a fight with Madame Gao.
Yeah.
I don't care who, somebody has to fight Madame Gao. She's the scariest person in all the MCU. She is so far the person that I like fear the most in terms of like being the most, not the most powerful in terms of like the movie people, whatever.
Sure.
But like, and when I'm saying the MCU, I am talking about Netflix MCU. I should clarify that more.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, of this Netflix stuff, she's, like, the most terrifying villain we've had so far, because I
Uh-huh.
don't know what she's capable of, and what we do know that she is capable of has been, you know, able to blast away Danny and Matt. Like, she seems very powerful.
Yeah.
And so I hope we don't get a stupid bullshit like,
yeah.
you know, ending to this.
I'm worried because, like, it is the classic villain thing for it to be like, you know, I, the villain, need the hero to progress, you know, a certain amount for my plan to succeed. So I'm going to, you know, tease and taunt them, and I'm going to let them try to fight me, but I won't defeat them. But I also won't, like, let them defeat me. Like, we'll just stay at an impasse for 50 episodes.
Yeah. I hate it.
I can't really figure out what her plan would be, because, like, we have the heroin trade. She's clearly very invested in that.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't just a, you know, I did that as baits to get to you.
I mean, it's her thing, I think, seems to be that she just wants to do the heroin, and I mean, all the other stuff she's doing as well, but she's just a businesswoman, and, like, going back to season 1 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like, that was what her whole thing was with Fisk, of, like, you're wanting too much, you're getting too personal about this, just make money.
Right.
And she said the same thing to Danny. Just make your money. Just get on a yacht, have some dinner with your friends. Stop making everything personal. This is business. And, like, I think that's her whole thing.
Yeah, she has no ego in this.
Yeah. Like, she has a little bit, because there's definitely the, like, I put your symbol in my heroin because fuck you.
Sure.
Like, so there's a little bit of ego in it, but she will never do anything that would harm the company, you know, or would harm the
business.
The business.
Yeah.
Like, her whole racket, you know, deal. So, yeah. It makes, like, you know, that's why she also, like, distances herself from Fisk and all that sort of stuff, which is like, this shit's, I don't even want to be a part of it anymore.
Right.
Maybe it's making me money, but I can see that in the long run, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah, like, I can see this is going downhill fast. I'm getting out while we're still on top.
Yeah. And yeah, every time it's been that. It's been a superhero comes to her and she's not afraid of the superhero because she's going like I'm not going to be a villain to you. You want information? Sure, here it is. I'll give it to you. Leave me alone now. Let me get back to my criminal shit.
Yeah.
I just want to, like, I don't respect her for that sense, but I like, it's just a much different villain than we have for anything else.
Yeah.
And yeah. What do you think is going to happen with Joy? Like, at the end of this episode, you know, we have the ward brings her up to the building, right up to the door, like the last door that she would have to walk through.
Yeah.
Again, as we said, her handprint should be on the thing.
It should be, yeah.
Like, not as a, like, why wouldn't he? But, like, it seems like if I was a writer, I would do the handprint is it's checking for Meacham DNA rather than, like, it's, you know, this is Harold's hand, this is Ward's hand, you know. That's what I assume they're going to do.
Okay.
Which is what I mean by it seems like her hand would work on the thing.
Yeah, like I could see it from the perspective of Harold likes her enough that he's been considering, like, maybe I'd want her to come up here, or, like, you know, if she's being attacked by the hand, I could, you know, put her in a safe house or something.
Yeah.
I could see that also, like, really pissing off Ward as he didn't tell me about this. You were just already in the system. You just walked right in. I don't know how.
Actually, I don't think it'll be. Also, that doesn't make any sense. Like, well, how would it be their family DNA or whatever? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't say I agreed with the DNA thing.
Oh yeah. No. I know you're not saying that. I'm going back to my own thing.
Sure.
That I think actually what it would be is it fits Joy very much so. Where if she has like the what the fuck was up there? I need to find out what was up there. I have to somehow get Ward's fingerprints now to be able to. Like, she tries it doesn't work. She has to get Ward's fingerprints. I think that's her thing. You know,
I can see that.
Sneakily getting shit from people, blackmailing them, or this is like it's not blackmail, but it's in that same vein of kind of stuff. So I think that's where we're gonna go with that.
I could see them like writing a sort of thorough line with her also having had Danny's fingerprints at the start of the series.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, she could still use that. Like if Danny's handprint works now,
Mm.
but she would have no reason.
Yeah, she would have no
to-
idea.
to like try that or anything.
Yeah, plus it's the whole hands as
Yeah.
opposed to one fingerprint.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, you might only need one fingerprint. You just put it on all 5. It somehow works. So we got the Danny's dad did not die from the cold or anything like that. He died by the poison.
Right.
Which leads further credence towards my theory that his mom is still alive out there somewhere.
Okay.
Like, if Danny walked through this cold and everything with the monks, then sure. His dad, it was like okay, did his dad die like when it actually crashed, or like his dad said that he went out there and like I actually can't remember what we were told. Like his dad went out to go look for something. I can't remember, and then he died. Like he was gonna look for his mom, and then he died or something.
It was something like that.
Do you remember the specifics at all?
No.
Because there was a little bit of a time period there between his dad leaving the plane and Danny finding the dead body.
Yeah.
So, like, they attacked him, poisoned him, this sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure if that really, it doesn't add much to it besides me just thinking, like, well, his mom's probably definitely still out there then.
Yeah, because Danny's takeaway was that the plane crash was because the pilots were poisoned.
Okay. Wait, was it? Okay, yeah, he does say Gao used the same poison on the pilots. That's why the plane crashed. But in the flashback, it's just Wendell being poisoned. So yeah, I guess I misinterpreted that. Like what he says and then what we're shown are two different things. So that is interesting. I wonder why that is the case. Like, yeah, they don't show the pilots at all. They just show Wendell being poisoned. But why would they poison Wendell for the plane to crash? Like clearly. Assumingly, the pilots were poisoned, and that's how the plane crashed.
Yeah.
Was Wendell also poisoned? Was it that the pilots were poisoned somehow, then the plane crashed? Also, how were the pilots poisoned?
Because the flight to Onzo is really long.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn long flight. Like,
So-
did they shoot arrows through the goddamn cockpit, or?
Like I bet it would have to be a very slow acting poison. It would have to be by the time they're almost there, but we estimate it's going to kick in.
Yeah. Now, this could just be Danny misreading the situation entirely, and it's like no, they fucked with the plane in a different way, and that's why it went down. And then once it crashed, the pilots and Danny's dad went out there to be like, let's go find some help, and then they were killed by the poison.
Yeah.
Could be that. See you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.